Alright guys, so this weekend Diablo 4 was announced. We all kind of expected it, we knew it was coming, but it's nice to finally see it. Now it looks like it's in pre-alpha, but it is confirmed and I'm so freaking excited. It's so nice that we were able to have a demo to see. Although it is still a ways out, there's some tangible proof that it's actually in production. I've been playing Diablo literally my entire life. I was like 10 years old, started playing Diablo 2, and ever since Diablo 3 has been released, I've been playing. So in Diablo 4, we don't necessarily see Diablo in any of the gameplay or the cinematic trailer. We definitely see the darkness. It is so dark, it's cringy, it's gory. It's everything we want in a Diablo game. Although I love Diablo 3, it is a little cartoony, and I think that Blizzard has learned that they need to make Diablo as dark, scary as possible. Cinematic trailer is beautiful. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link in the description. You gotta watch it. It's about 9 minutes long. Totally worth it. I'm a huge lore buff. They also included some gameplay. Definitely need to check that out. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. The cinematic trailer starts off a couple of guys searching for treasure, and they get to this like tomb. It looks like it turns out to be a gate, and they basically sacrifice themselves knowingly, kind of unknowingly, and they summon Lilith. Now Lilith is pretty freaking badass, and in this trailer she looks amazing. Lilith is the daughter of Mephisto. Mephisto is the Lord of Hatred. And in some of the artwork that we're getting and we're seeing from the game, it looks like she's holding her father's skull, but I could be wrong. I'm no expert. We'll probably see an expansion with Mephisto in it if he's not in the base game. So on the launch, we're going to have 5 classes. We know of the Barbarian, the Sorceress, and the Druid, but there's 2 more that are kind of up to speculation. If you guys know Lord Fluffy and the P-Child, they were at BlizzCon and they shared a picture that looks like maybe some type of hunter ranger class. I would be very surprised if they didn't have the Demon Hunter in Diablo 4 on launch. Demon Hunter was one of the most popular classes on launch for D3, and I think it'd be a shame if it wasn't in D4. Now, if you know me, you know I love the Necromancer class, and I am really hoping that it's in the base game, but I'm pretty sure it probably won't be. So we'll leave the speculation up to you guys. Sanctuary is huge, and it's set up, and it has 5 different areas that you can go into. Skull's Glen, Fractured Peaks, Dry Steps, Hauzar, and Kejistan. And some of those areas are directly related to the characters that you start off with, so it's possible we might be able to kind of guess and figure out who is from what area and possibly what characters we're going to be getting. We have mounts! We have mounts, guys! We have mounts! So this is pretty cool. This is another aspect that I hope adds to the longevity of the game. You know, like WoW has tons of mounts, tons of pets. If people get bored, sometimes they just like to collect that stuff. I like to collect things, so definitely going to be trying to get every mount and pet that is possible. So we're kind of going back to a classic Diablo 2 talent tree, as opposed to the skill and rune selection in Diablo 3. And the game's obviously going to be multiplayer. I don't want to say it's an MMO, but there's definitely aspects to that. So running around the world during the demo, it looks like you can see other players without matchmaking or anything. Ashava is one of the world bosses that you fight in the demo, and you know how we really liked that animation where we fight Belial in Diablo 3, how the camera kind of zooms out and he takes on a different form? That's kind of how this world boss seems. So the camera has to zoom out because the boss is so big. They didn't say you can't do it by yourself, but they said it would definitely be beneficial to have other players. But there are dungeons, and those dungeons can be ran solo or up to 4-person multiplayer, just like Diablo 3. We're definitely seeing some more monsters that we've seen in previous Diablo games, but we're also seeing some new ones. So it's pretty cool to see monsters like the Fallen come back. Those have been a staple in the Diablo universe for a long time. And it's cool to see some new monsters such as the Drowned. Now in Diablo 3 we had a mostly set base game. That means end game was get the set you need, play like that. Now I do kind of like sets sometimes because they can change up the way you play. Basically you're limited to the builds of each set. There's some variation, but in Diablo 4, it looks like we're going to have some set items, but those set items are not going to be the most powerful. So we're going to have normal magic and rare items, definitely, and then we're going to have some legendary and set items, but we're also going to have ancient items, and I don't know if those are separate from the legendaries and better versions, kind of like in Diablo 3, or if those are completely different. We also have mythic items, so I don't know if those are going to be just more powerful than legendaries, like ancient legendaries or primal legendaries, but we'll see. Runes are making a comeback, so we're gonna have gear that you can socket things into, just like in Diablo 3 you could socket gems, but in D4 you're going to be able to socket gems and runes. And there's two different types of runes. You have conditions and effects, and basically you put two together, you get a rune word, and it's more powerful. Now, I did notice during some of the demos and the trailers, it looks like there's less equipment slots per character. Now, it looks like they left out the belt, shoulders, and bracers. Who knows, they might come later on. Maybe they're still working on stuff like that. But it seems like the less equipment slots, maybe the less build diversity, the less items. Who knows? I mean, it seems like they're going pretty in depth with skills and talents and runes and rune words and gear, so maybe we don't need all the equipment slots that we think we do. So some really cool things we know about the Barbarian. The Barbarian is going to have the arsenal system, which is basically a way for him to equip multiple weapons. He's going to have, from the demos, it looked like a giant sword, a blunt weapon of some sort, like a club, and then two like one-handed axes or something. You'll be able to switch them out on demand. Barbarian is just a brutal melee freaking beast, and Sorceress looks super awesome. You know, she's got her elemental skills. She has fire, cold, and lightning damage, and I am freaking excited. We're super excited to see this druid come back. So druid has been absent in the latest Diablo series, so now that we have D4, we're getting that druid, and he looks awesome. Shapeshifts between a werewolf, a freaking werebear. He's got the power of the elements, like storms and vines, and the wolves that he has following are just so awesome, and super wicked excited to check it out, see future. Now we know there's going to be PvP in the game. Now we also know that it's going to be similar to Diablo 2, but it'll probably be a little bit different. It sounds like from some of the game devs that you're going to have specific areas for PvP, and all the gear that you're going to be using is going to be kind of the same, and the skills. It's interesting to see the balance might be a little there, might not be there. They said that the gear that you use for PvE will definitely not work as well for PvP, so we might see some better stuff for PvP than for PvE, but it should all be around about the same stuff. Now, we don't know exactly how it's going to work. Like I said, Diablo 3 has a very poorly, basically not even existent PvP system. So we'll see how they fix it in Diablo 4. Now we know the story is going to be a non-linear campaign. Now what this means is somewhat difficult to decipher, but we know that it's going to be different. I think it's going to be similar to the adventure system in Diablo 3, and that is a super popular system, and I really think that, because a lot of people don't like to keep playing the story and over again, we know there's going to be some sort of replayability to the game, and I'm just super excited to see it. Now, they've talked a little bit about the end game. There's going to be dungeons, and you're going to get keys for these dungeons. The way it sounds is the harder the difficulty, the better quality items you're going to get, not the better quantity. But they also talked about upgrading items, so you might be able to craft an item or find an item and then make it better. And this is something I'm excited to see, because right now in Diablo 3, the sky rains of legendaries. You might get some stuff that you really don't want, so you just salvage it all, and you have some crafting materials, but you can't really do a whole lot except for reroll stuff. There's no greater like crafting experience in the game, so hopefully with some of this we'll be able to customize our gear a lot more. Now, I'm also super excited because it looks like we're going to be able to customize our characters, not just in the sense that, you know, we male or female or whatever. It looks like we're going to be able to change the face, the race. We're going to even be able to put scars and tattoos on these guys. This is super exciting because it really dives into creating your own character, your own hero, everybody has something of their own, like that is going to be super cool. I know it's just a small thing, but to me it's big. You know, I like the customization. I like to look cool. I like to design my own stuff. If you can set yourself apart from other players, like that is awesome. We know there's going to be trading. They've talked of a limited trading system where some things will be able to be traded all the time. Some things won't ever be able to be traded, like the most powerful items. And some things will have a trade limit, like trade up to 1, maybe 2 times. I am kind of worried seeing maybe third-party sites selling crafting material and stuff like that. It could definitely hurt, you know, some people that don't want to spend money on the game. We also know there will be a base game that you will pay for. There will also be expansions that you pay for and cosmetics that you pay for. We haven't really got any more details than just that, but I think that's how most games are nowadays. So I'm excited to see, because I've been playing Diablo 3 since launch, and honestly, I would spend the money on the game. I mean, it's a great game, and the more money that you spend on the game, the more money they have to kind of make new content and stuff. So I really believe that having some sort of microtransactions will help improve the game, and I'm really excited to see what they do. We know there's going to be seasons in D4. We don't know a whole lot about them yet. There will be a hardcore mode. This is exciting because we love hardcore. Hardcore is super fun. Got a lot of friends that play it. I will play it definitely, not solely hardcore. I'll play softcore as well. But I'm excited to see if it's the same as D3, or if it's kind of like Path of Exile's hardcore, or maybe just a totally different hardcore in general. Now, Diablo 4 is going to be coming in PC, Xbox One, and PS4. I'm pretty sure by the time it comes out, we're going to have some new consoles. I'll be repping that PC, you know. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure there'll be a new Xbox, the Scarlet or whatever, and the PS5 probably by this time, because Blizzard says they're not close to being done with this, even by their own standards. And we know that Diablo 3 was announced in 2008 and launched in 2012. That's a 4-year difference. So if they're thinking, well, 4 years and then some, my best guess is between, at very best, 3.5 years to 5.5 years, honestly. Whatever they need to do to make it perfect and polished whenever they launch it, that's cool with me. Now, it seemed like while watching one of Quin69's streams at BlizzCon, he was able to talk to one of the lead game designers. I'll try and post that video in the description as well, so you can see some of the questions that were asked and some of the answers that the game designer came up with. But it seems like they're really kind of open to feedback, and I'm not sure if this is because they're trying to listen and make a game that we would definitely are more involved in and that players are more excited to see, or if they're kind of lost and they don't know kind of the direction they're going. Either way, I think this is great, because there's a ton of people out there that have great ideas, and not all of them work at Blizzard. I'm sure I missed a lot in this video, guys, but if you could let me know in the comments other things about the game and what's coming up. Try to update the video. I'm trying to go into depth on some more of these characters, the classes, and some of the systems in the game. If you want to come and hang out live, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/redpooldead. If you like what you see here, please consider liking the video and subscribing. Leave your comment. Let me know what you thought. If you guys are looking for more Diablo content, stick around here, because we're going to bring it. And I'll throw down some links in the description for some other great places that you can find Diablo content. Guys, follow me on Twitter. Post Diablo content 24/7 and occasionally some other cool stuff. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.